Hi everybody, TJ Mac Vintage Cards here. Today I'm doing a tribute video to the 4th of July holiday. I'm going to show off a few cards and a couple coins. I'm not a big coin collector, but I do have a couple coins that I have a special connection with that I want to share with you today. But first I'm going to do one shout out, and that is to, I believe, my only French subscriber and the only French channel I watch, and that's Undrafted Player, Fabian. And he has a great channel where he shows off just a lot of different cards that he collects. His last episode, he even did some Hot Wheels, showed off stickers, Jurassic Park stickers, basketball stickers, but he mainly collects what I enjoy watching are his baseball and football cards. He has a lot of vintage football cards. My favorite video of his is when he goes through some 1981 Topps Cowboys cards, which it's my favorite set of Dallas Cowboys cards because it's the first really packs that I ripped a lot of that in 1980, but the 81s especially mean a lot to me. They invoke instant memories when I see those cards, so that was one video that really resonated with me that he did. But he does a lot of other nice videos showing off some great vintage cards, some heritage. He does Topps Heritage as well. So just want to shout him out, and mainly today, of all days, is because he's French, and the French were very supportive allies of the colonies during the American Revolution, and I would say the French are a big reason why we became a nation, especially their support throughout the war that culminated in the Battle of Yorktown when they blockaded the British with ships firing in on them in Yorktown. So that was when the surrender happened, and much of that's attributed to the French support of the colonies. So I just want to recognize that, and Fabian. So happy 4th of July, Fabian, and hopefully you'll be making many videos for years to come. First card that I want to show today is this 1941 Playball Charlie Gehringer, and this is a beautiful example of this card. What really connects me to this card that I always liked about it when I was searching for a Gehringer, I looked at the Gaudi with the purple background. I like that one, but I went with this one because I love this red, white, and blue bunting in the background. You can just see it right there with the blue trim on it. And great image of Gehringer here. Really neat background here with the green grass and the infield dirt, and just the stadium back here, the seating and the grandstand. Just a really sharp image of the time. But what I like especially too is it's 1941. This is really the last year where baseball was in a normal state prior to World War II, with all its stars playing. And then what happened that year in December was Pearl Harbor, and then certainly the baseball world, like much of the rest of the country, was turned upside down with the war. A lot of its great players enlisted in service to the country, including Charlie Gehringer. He actually never played again after the war. He joined the Navy, and then his last season was in 1942. He played 19 years in the majors, had 7 200-hit seasons, over 1,400 RBIs. I think his career batting average was .320. I don't always have notes in front of me. I research these and just kind of speak to them. But he was, I believe, a .320 hitter, hit 184 home runs, I know. He was the MVP in 1937, stolen base champion in 1929. Next to Rogers Hornsby, he was probably the finest second baseman of his day. He was nicknamed the Mechanical Man, and that was believed to have come from Lefty Grove, because Grove had said of Gehringer, he said that he basically wind him up in the spring and he goes all summer. He hits .330 or .340 or whatever, and then you shut him off in the fall. And just year after year he produced. So it was pretty neat. I always liked that nickname, the Mechanical Man. And he was inducted into the Hall of Fame in 1949. So that's Charlie Gehringer. And I'll put a link of this video involving Rick Monday below. Many of you know the story, most likely, and if you don't, again, I'll share the video below, but I'll touch on it real quick. Rick Monday in a game in 1976, it was on April 25th in Dodger Stadium, and in the 4th inning of that game, 2 spectators came onto the field and put a flag. They laid the flag down on the grass in the outfield, and they tried lighting it, and they were having some difficulty lighting it, and Rick Monday ran over and he grabbed that flag right out from under them and held it and ran off towards the, I believe it was the left field wall. And then afterwards, those individuals were arrested. And it turned out to be a man and his 11-year-old son. Not really sure exactly why they were doing it. I know they were Native American, and it was possible that the man's wife and his son's mom obviously was imprisoned, and that might have something to do with it. I believe the man himself was mentally ill. So just a real, sad situation all around. But Rick Monday, being the patriot he is, certainly didn't want to see the flag burned and desecrated in that manner on the field. So he ran and did his patriotic duty as he saw it, and as a Marine, a reservist, he grabbed that flag and protected it. So just want to respect and bring him up on this great day of the 4th of July in this tribute video. And I want to, again, share that video below if you want to watch it. And then next up here is 56 Topps Ted Williams. Not going to talk super long. Everybody knows his service to our country. He was a fighter pilot in World War II in Korea. He's a flight instructor as well. Just really a patriot. Probably one of the most decorated people of World War II in sports. There's some other great heroes as well, but he's certainly up there with them. Lost about 5 seasons of playing baseball to his service to our country, and he really is just a super person and certainly a great American that we just want to recognize on this 4th of July weekend. And I have not shown this card before. This is the 56 Topps. I haven't done my key card run from that year. I haven't showed it off yet. I'm just going to save that one for a little while. Don't want to show all my cards off. But this is one of them from the set. Just a spectacular image of him. There's the autograph there. And him in full swing. Just a nice overall card. And then next we have Tom Landry from 1955 Bowman set. This is one of 3 playing days cards of Landry. This is the only one that doesn't depict him with his helmet on. I like this image of him. Those who watch my channel know that I'm a big Landry fan. The fact is, because I'm a Cowboys fan, he was the coach for 29 years. He was a great Christian as well, great teacher of the game to players. Very soft-spoken, humble man, and I just have a lot of respect for him as a person. But what I haven't really spoken a lot about, which some may know and some may not, but I'm just going to share it. He was also a World War II veteran. He flew the B-17 bombers, the Flying Fortresses. He flew 30 missions during the war, and that's a lot of missions to be flying those large aircraft because they were easy targets for the enemy, which would have been the Germans because he was in the European theater. And in one mission, he actually crashed his plane into Belgium because it ran low on fuel. So obviously survived that and went on to have a Hall of Fame coaching career, as well as a career in the NFL as a punter and as a defensive back. So just also want to recognize him on this day. And then finally here, I'm going to go over just a couple coins. One of the things that I do on my free time is I do speak with children, usually through churches where I do preach at some churches in the community where I live, different ones. And around this time of year, I will bring coins in. I don't have that many coins that I collect. I'm not really a big coin collector, as I said. But the coins I do collect have special meaning to me. This is one of them. This is an 1864 2-cent piece. You can see here it's an extra fine 40, they call it. It's a circulated coin from 1864. And it says large motto. And what they mean by large motto is you can't really see it here. You'll have to look it up online to get a better look because of the copper. It's kind of hard to see, but it says "In God We Trust." Well, this is the first U.S. minted coin that ever had "In God We Trust" placed it on it, and it was done during the Civil War, and done as a way to remind us during this tumultuous time in our country that God is still with us, God is on our side, in a just cause, and that's why the Union put this coin out, and just wanted to share that with the group here, and you can see the shield on it. Just a beautiful coin from that time frame. And then here is a steel penny from 1943. This is the other coin that I show kids that I speak with. And I usually get rolls of this coin and I hand them out to them because it is a reminder of sacrifice. This is a steel penny that was minted in 1943. And it's the only magnetic coin ever minted by the United States because it's made of steel, which is caught by a magnet if you expose it to a magnet. And it's always a good trivia question if you want to give somebody one. It's the 1943 steel penny is the only magnetic coin. There are a few copies of 44s, I guess, before they scrapped the steel program and went back to copper or other alloys to make pennies. But this one is the one that went into circulation. So I think it's a good trivia question to share. But how I do it with kids is I tell them about the sacrifice that we had to make during World War II. Copper was being used to make ammunition and other materials needed for the war effort. Same with gasoline, rubber, paper. I mean, pretty much anything that had use to the troops was utilized, and the remainder was rationed to the rest of the country. So there was a lot of sacrifice during this time. And this is just a coin that reminds me of that. It's a Mint State 66 uncirculated penny. So it's not really that rare, but I just wanted to have this in my collection. It's a wheat penny because you can see the wheat pieces of wheat on the side. They call them wheat pennies. And depicts Abraham Lincoln just like the penny does today. And I thought I would just share that with everybody. And you can see the "In God We Trust" emblazoned on the top above President Lincoln's head. So that's what I want to show today. I appreciate everybody's time, and I hope you enjoyed this video. And I just wish everybody a happy and blessed 4th of July weekend. Hope you're spending it with your family or doing something fun. And I will talk to you again soon.